Welcome to our very first episode of EdTech Table Talks. We will be using this series to dig deeper into best practices as well as staying up to date on all things Canvas and Microsoft Teams. Today I have a very special guest with me. We have Mr. Cameron Smith, who is from our Social Studies Department, and he's basically going to be giving you some best practices and suggestions on how teachers and co-teachers can work together seamlessly in Canvas.
All right. Well, one of the first things I recommend, I sent out that video on email, or like the series of videos on emails about a week or so ago, and I kind of outlined the way I have my class set up. And one of the first things that I'd like to make sure that you work with your co-teacher about is communication. And this goes for all years, not just this year, but make sure that your co-teacher knows what's coming up. They know kind of what the schedule is. You can do it pretty simplistic on just having it written on the board, but you can have a conversation with them about what to expect, what's coming up, if you have a large project coming up, if you have a test, if you've got an assignment that might take a few days. It's a good idea to let them know. Because what they can do is they can start to figure out, they know their kids, and so they can tell which kids are going to need what type of help. If a kid struggles at reading and they know that a particular assignment is going to have a lengthy reading section, they can prepare to help that student. As far as your Canvas assignments go, if you can get your co-teacher some access to your Canvas so they can go in and look and see kind of themselves, that just will help that communication that much more because they can go in and see that kind of things for themselves. So as far as any work that needs to be modified, we're still working on ways to make it smoother for getting that modified work to the correct student. But as far as making the work, what you can do is once you have a module or an assignment made in Canvas, you can share it to the Commons, and then your co-teacher should be able to take that from the Commons. They can then import it for themselves, so they've got their own copy of it now, and they're able to change that as they see fit to modify it for the modified students. Once they have that ready to go, they're able to re-upload it to Commons. They can give it a new name, and then you as the teacher can download it again, and now you've got your version of things and you've got the modified version of things. So you'd be able to assign that to certain kids. As far as making sure that the right kids do the right assignment, there's still, we're still trying to figure out a good way to get that done. But what you could try is have it all within one module and be very clear that, like, tell the kids, like, you are all going to do this assignment, and then you can go around to a couple other kids, have the modified work have a different name, and then you can go around to the other kids and tell them, like, I want you to do this assignment down here. And you could even make the name something like do not do this assignment, so that your general education students don't even go there. And then you can go around to your modified students and tell them, I want you to do that one instead. We're still working on trying to find a good way to make it so that certain kids see certain assignments. But for right now, that might be the easiest way to go about doing that. So in that email that I sent out the other week where I laid out my organization for Canvas, one of the things that works really well in that is a lot of the accommodations that you're going to need for a lot of these special education kiddos is already built into that. If kids need extra time, you're able to set that in Canvas. If you need to make sure that a kid has the ability to retake things as they need, easy to do in Canvas. You are chunking things by making it split up into, say, a warm-up, a lecture, vocab, and an assignment. If you have multiple parts in there, you are already chunking. So a lot of these accommodations you can put into the way your Canvas is set up. And it's not only going to help your special education kiddos, but it's going to help your gen ed kids as well.
I'd like to thank Mr. Smith for being here with us today, but the video is not over just yet. Stay tuned and you're going to find out what Microsoft Teams and Canvas are teaming up together to make your life easier, coming soon, probably around January. So don't turn off the video, keep on watching.
Hello, I'm Jim Federico, and I'm a product manager in the education product team here at Microsoft. Well, not here at Microsoft, I'm actually at my home office in Carnation, Washington. But today, I'm excited to share with you what Microsoft and Instructure are doing together to provide every Canvas classroom with new capabilities from Office 365 and Microsoft Teams. Before I begin, please note that we are being extra transparent with our future plans. This is an extraordinary time after all. In this presentation, I'm sharing and showing solutions that we're building now. Please be aware that our plans can always change, and we, like you and your students, reserve the right to be smarter in the future than we are now. If you have feedback for me or for the team, please connect with me on Twitter at Jim_Federico. Okay, so integration number 1. Today in Canvas, as you know, educators can easily create Teams meetings within their classes, and both the educators and the students can easily launch into the Teams meetings for their synchronous learning experience. This integration is getting way better via an LTI app that we're in the process of building now. Here you can see a fully immersive Teams meeting experience that allows educators to create meetings, change settings, and students and educators can easily access the meeting recordings and of course launch the meetings right from within Canvas. Now you might be asking, but Microsoft, this is an improvement, but what are you doing to help improve instruction, to help educators reach every student, to make learning via a screen a more engaged experience for all students? Well, we've been asking ourselves that same question. And for this, I'd like to share with you integration number 2 that Microsoft and Instructure are building together. So the next impactful integration brings Canvas into Microsoft Teams. Here you are seeing what we're working on to bring Canvas assignments and quizzes directly into Teams meetings. Now let me explain what's going on here. Educators want students to work on assignments together during class. Students are interacting with the Canvas content while the educator is controlling instruction and the flow of instruction time of the class. I call this lean-in synchronous classroom. In short, we're bringing curricula, instruction, assessment, and student collaboration directly into the online learning experience. Of course, classes that use Teams meetings can also take advantage of the large gallery view. They can be made interactive by using Microsoft Whiteboard. And naturally, the hand raise feature certainly promotes orderly discourse. And then the upcoming background features we're building, whereby institutions can customize and brand even the background features when students and educators are viewing their synchronous classroom in together mode. And of course, let's not forget breakout rooms. Breakout rooms is coming very soon from Microsoft. And by the way, this is really co-designed and co-architected in a lot of ways with a set of rockstar educators in K-12 as well as in higher ed. We can't wait to land breakout rooms and to get your feedback very soon. Okay, so let's talk about integration number 3. We're seeing an increased number of classrooms in K-12 and higher ed using both Canvas and Teams. Not just Teams meetings, but the full Teams experience. I believe that the full Teams app complements Canvas nicely. Educators are using Teams for meetings, chats, project-based learning, group projects, and more. And in response to educators asking for the setup of the pairing of the Canvas course and the team, we're working with Canvas to deliver an LTI-based solution. Here's how it works. The educator clicks a button in Canvas, and automatically a team is set up and is paired with the Canvas class. That's about it. There's nothing more to it. Now the class can access the Canvas resources from within Teams. And of course, we'll make it easy to get back into Canvas when the students are working in Teams. There's so much more we're planning on doing with the integration, and we look forward to responding to your feedback to make it everything you want it to be. There are 2 more important projects that we're working on to complete our integrations with Canvas. We're reimagining the way that your OneDrive and Teams files can be more easily accessible from within Canvas. This will enable educators and students to easily create, share, co-author, and collaborate on lessons, assignments, and other instructional materials without ever leaving Canvas. Okay, final integration is with the immersive reader. So the immersive reader is getting deeply integrated across the Canvas user experience. The immersive reader from Microsoft has been empirically proven to improve reading abilities for learners of all ages, including early language learners, learners of a second language, and everybody else. Here you can see a student in Canvas using the immersive reader. Students can use the picture dictionary to help recognize words. Words are syllabified to help with pronunciation. The immersive reader identifies parts of speech, verbs, nouns, and more. And students can select to have the text read out loud to them, sped up or slowed down to their preference, and to be played back into more than 60 languages. At Microsoft, we have a lot of pride in this solution because while it was originally built based on research to help learners of all ages with dyslexia and dysgraphia read, it's been proven to improve student outcomes for everybody. Well, that was a lot. I'm grateful for your attention and for your feedback that the education community provides us every day. There's so much goodness and opportunity between Microsoft and Canvas. We can't wait to turn this roadmap into reality. Take care and be safe.